Hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of Chitangani with the Sangoma. Today I'm going to be playing around with some tuning on the vocal. So if you're struggling to tune your vocal and you want to be creative with the effects on your vocal, this is an episode for you. Cool. So I got this interesting song that I did. Let me play you the song. Not a lot has been done, as you can see. Just auto tune, waves tune. Of course.
As long as wakala ni good a chef needing a tipoki course Turano chilla now my gang is good as long as wakala ni good a chef needing a tipoki course Everybody toti bamba you fura ano my gang got thought timula.
Cool, so something like that. So what I'm gonna be doing today is just playing around with a little bit of tuning. So I'm feeling like starting from the verse, sounding a little bit interesting. So just do something different. So most of the time people ask me the question, what do I start with? Where do I put my tuning plug-in? So it depends. Sometimes I probably put it at the top and start with it and then go down my chain. Sometimes it's last on my chain. All right. So, but in this instance, I just put it here. I think it was recorded into it. That's why it's here. So I'm going to just drag it to the top and then start with it and then go down the whole process. Right. So the first thing first is you need to know the key of the song. So you can put those things down here. So in this instance, the song is D flat, natural minor scale. That's the scale of the which we're gonna be tuning in because that's where the key of the song is. Right. I never use most of this, so I'm not gonna waste a lot of time. So here you can choose a range. For example, if I go to baritone, you can hear the baritone. So let me say, for example, let me just do this so that it's easier for you guys to see what I'm doing. Cool, so we're gonna reset everything. This is how you're probably gonna get it. And then we said our scale, and then I'm gonna go click there, and then natural minor. Right, so before I do that, let me play the vocal without it.
Everybody toti bamba you fura ano my gang got thought timula abakavara ko jena ko pusha ndababuza durero chilla ko pusha na machine. So it
feels like nothing is happening. So after choosing my key, most of the time I'll go to correction. I'll probably just leave this for now just to see, and then I'm gonna go here and play around with these dials, and then I'm gonna come back here. So what I like to do is just first of all crank it up, get the T-pain effect, so I can hear it working. And then at this moment I'll probably play the beat. So we're good. And then from there I'll probably play with the note transition. What is note transition is basically how quickly it's going to be changing from another note to another note. Remember, it's tuning per note, so as you can see here. So if I go note transition all the way down, you can hear the change. That's when you get that T-pain effect. So let me just do this to make it interesting.
Ebaritoti bamba yofura ono magenge kotota timula abakavara kojena kopusha ndababuza
So when the note transition is at very very high timing milliseconds, 800 there, it's not changing that quick from the notes, so you're still getting some of the notes that are really wrong. So that's the dial that you play with, and then the speed is how quickly it's going to be changing, how quickly it's going to be tuning the vocals. So if you listen to this,
ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini.
you see, you can feel that it's tuning, but some of those untuned kind of like natural vocals are coming through, right? So I'm gonna put it on 100 on full out here. Go to correction.
ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini. ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena.
So now I can actually now hear down here with the range target where I want it to be. So for example, if I go to alto and I look at the keyboard, you can see I'm covered on that range. What's cool about Waves tune that I like is I can go, for example, and look at the notes. Maybe I don't want this note.
ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini.
So if you hear it with this vocal way, probably I'll go hard. You know what I mean? Just
bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini. ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula
cool. So you kind of get the jigs of things. So you can combine it with a lot of things. Let me just do it on this vocal. Sometimes I run it as a bass. So if I go to modulation, for example, and I do like a doubler, just want to get like crazy effects, I'll put a doubler there. I have all of them on. Probably take away some of the lows. Maybe tame some of that. Let's just feel it and.
bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini. ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine sa chef miki ndidzula ndi kishini ndobvisa khana ndichinga ndi bichini hoswika uba kotambela ndishini. ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha.
And probably send a lot of reverb on it. There's a lot of things that you can follow it with. A lot of quick effects. Sometimes I'll do a phaser. Let's try phaser. I like the air phaser just to feel the effect of that.
ebaritsotsi bamba yofura ono magenge kotota dzimula abakavala kojena kopusha ndobabudza dzulelo chila kopusha na machine.
Yeah, something like that. And then probably do this. You know what I mean? Make it more.
Ndobabuza dzulelo chila kupusha na mission sa chef miki
Depending on what you wanna do, so you can go crazy
ndichinga ndi bichini
or I can double it up.
bakotambela ndishini
Man.
Tobaritoti bamba yofura ano magenge kotota dzimula abakovala kojena kupusha
Just put it at the back.
chila kupusha na mission sa chef miki ndidzula ndikishini ndobvisakana ndichinga ndi bichini osvika uba kotambela ndishini.
You know, so those are some of the things that you can actually do depending on what you want. You can play around with a lot of effects. But that's basically the tuning. If you want it to be like an effect, you will crank it up all the way. If you just want to tune some vocals and touch up some things, you can play around with the correction. You can correct everything, speed, quick, but you can just blend between what's corrected and not what's corrected. Depending on the sound that you're looking for. But a very, very simple way of approaching it. As long as you know the key, you just play around with the dial and then the dial will give you what you want. Right, so let me see if I can do some other crazy things. I like sci-fi sometimes. You know what I mean? Just make something gory dark, you know what I mean? Bamba yofura ano magenge kotota dzimula abakovala kojena kupusha ndobabuza dzulelo chila kupusha na mission sa chef miki ndidzula ndikishini ndobvisakana ndichinga ndi bichini osvika uba kotambela ndishini. Yeah, so that's how I would tune like vocals. Just get them sitting there, give them that airy effect. You know what I mean? So sakana ndichinga ndi bichini osvika uba kotambela ndishini. Tobaritoti bamba yofura ano magenge kotota dzimula abakovala kojena kupusha ndobabuza dzulelo chila kupusha na mission sa chef miki ndidzula ndikishini ndobvisakana ndichinga ndi bichini. Yeah, so you can kind of like get the idea, get carried away, play around with a lot of like effects. Especially if you're going for something that it's something that's never heard before, or you're trying to create a sound or curate a sound or just make something interesting. There's a lot that you can do combining a lot of things. It's not only just the tuning. So a lot of people ask me, what do I do on my vocals? So there's a lot of effects that I play around with to get to the voice that I want. Sometimes I play around with like real ADT just to make it like move a little bit, which I will do an episode about. Some cool effects on vocals. So as you can see, it's just blending all of those things together and being careful, not to lose the essence of the vocal most of the time. Like Sound Sangoma, you know what it is, man. Smash that subscribe button. Make sure that you follow us on all of the social medias and stay tuned. Thank you for tuning in. Much love.